Have you noticed that when politicians and bureaucrats and those people, when they talk about the coronavirus, when they talk about a vaccine, when they talk about all those things, there is one word they leave out. One word they always seem to forget to mention, and that's freedom. Because it's so inconvenient, that concept of freedom, isn't it? It would be much easier if we all just forgot about what it's like to be free. When I'm sitting here now and I'm hearing myself saying these things, and I know I'm talking to people right now. You guys, some of you are in effect in house arrest in your own apartment or your own house. And it's almost like a dream, because it's straight out of a science fiction movie, isn't it? So the second wave is coming. Yeah, and we are being told that by those same world leaders that we need to be prepared for the second wave of the coronavirus. I agree. There is a second wave coming, and we need to prepare. Now, I do not agree when it comes to what that second wave will be about. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. I'll just put the kettle here. Not much. I forgot to fill up my water bottle, so there's like just a half a cup of water in there. But anyway, the second wave will not be about the virus. Of course, that's how it will be framed. But I don't think it will be about the virus. The second wave will be about civil unrest. It will be about a vaccine. It will be about surveillance, tracking apps, and taking away your freedom. Let's see how much water we have here. Not much, but anyway. Strong chocolate coffee this morning. I'm going to give some advice, and please be aware that I don't know everything, of course. So this is just a very, as all advice, you know, this will be subjective, and I don't know where you are. I don't know what you can do, what you can't do, but I'll try to share some thoughts, and based on what I've seen during the last couple of months. Now, before the second wave hits us, restrictions will be lifted. And that's your window. That's when you need to get out. So if you are in a heavily controlled or, you know, area, like a city, you can't get out, people everywhere, when those restrictions are lifted, that's your window and you need to get out. I mean, next time it might get a lot worse, okay? And we don't have a lot of time. My prediction is that this second wave will hit us sometime later this year. And by the way, if I'm wrong, I will have no trouble admitting that. So let's hope I'm wrong. You know, let's hope those predictions are totally wrong, and we can all laugh at this video in a few months' time. But I'm telling you this because I fear that what I'm saying now is actually that's what's going to happen. The second wave will hit sometime during this fall, this autumn, and before that you need to prepare. You need to get out to the cities. You know, I know it's difficult, but please do what you can for yourself and your family. If you cannot get out, you need to start to prepare buying stuff you need. You need to be prepared for a much harder lockdown next time. Also, get your finances in order. You get your do what you can do to tidy up your financial life, okay? The key here is to become more independent. So at the end of your the goal for everyone should be to be able to go off-grid if you want to, if you need to. I'm not saying you should. Well, yeah, I myself, for me, that would, you know, that's a goal, but maybe, you know, that's not for everyone. But what I'm saying is, if you can, please try to prepare for that option. Because we don't know what will be demanded, what will be the conditions that you will have to live under as part of the next, what should I call it? What's coming, you know? Will you have to take a vaccine, to a special vaccine, in order to go to work or to send your kids to school? Now, please don't go crazy just because I'm saying this. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, whatever that means. And I'm going to make a video about this, by the way, because this is something I have looked into in detail. If you look at what Gates is talking about, that's not a vaccine. It's not. Per definition, it is not a vaccine. It's something totally different. No, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about injecting nanotechnology controlling people's minds, and I'm not talking about that, but it's, if you look into it, it is not a vaccine. It just isn't. And even if they, Doctor Who, doesn't go that way, doesn't choose Mr. Gates' miracle cure, it will still be a vaccine that has been made probably much too quickly, and it will not have been tested properly. Now they will say it's safe. It will not be safe. I'm getting into the whole vaccine thing here now. This video is not going to be about that, but so I'll just leave that there. You need to, if you're going to be a part of, you know, urban society in the near future, you'll probably have to accept being tracked in some way or in some way. I don't accept that. So, I mean, it's up to you. What do you think? Is it okay? Can you accept it or not? I can't. I really can't. And if you're like me, you might have to live a very different life in the future, and there will be other measures taken as well. I suppose that they will increase the taxes because we have to pay for everything. And I think we should all make some notes of which leaders, which politicians have thrived now, which politicians have been eager to wield their power now that they have had all these the lockdowns and all these new rules. I wouldn't vote for such politicians. So yeah, I don't know. I just enjoy spending time out in the woods. I enjoy being free. And also, you know, we should never trade freedom for comfort. We should never trade freedom for anything. I mean, it would have been easier, of course, if we just say, okay, I will now stop to think. I will just do like as politicians and those people. I'm using politicians as a, you know, in lack of better words, because not all politicians are bad people, of course not, but you know what I mean here. So maybe I should just stop thinking for myself, and I should just pay my taxes with a big smile and follow every rule. Now, when it comes to following every rule, I had a very interesting conversation with my son the other day about following law and order. And I think there are some gaps when it comes to what they're being taught at school. And I told him, sometimes you have to break the law in order to be a decent human being. And I gave him one example. A few decades ago, Norway was occupied by the Nazis. Oh, can't say that on YouTube, I don't care. Norway was occupied. And the resistance, the Norwegian resistance, you know, they kept fighting, you know, they did sabotage and, you know, all through the war, you know, those years. And they were, per definition, criminals. But there are some exceptions, but they did the right thing. They opposed the rule. Because they had to, they felt they had to. They were called the Gutta på skauen, the boys in the woods. That's what they were called, because they hid out in the woods. I'll show one of their caves, by the way. I've been to some of their caves in the woods around Oslo. Very fascinating, but that's a topic for a different video, I guess. But sometimes we have to break the law, and it's important to remember that. Sometimes we have to break the law. Sometimes following the law is immoral. Not saying that you should go out and break the law, not saying that, but you should never take the law as your moral compass. There, a little bit of technical difficulties there. There is a limit on the recording time of 30 minutes, and I seem to have talked longer than that, and I didn't notice before I got back home. But anyway, that is my video for today. I now have a terrible headache, a migraine actually, and I had also when I went out and recorded this video, which you can probably tell because watching the footage I noticed that I speak slower than usual, even slower than usual actually, so I hope you don't mind. So that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you, well, do your own thinking, do your own, you know, be critical of everything you hear now. It's these are strange times, and we need to stand up for our rights, and we need to be sensible as well. You know, we just need to I don't know what to say. My headache is I'm no good for anything right now, so I'll just finish the video, and hope you enjoyed it. If you're not already a subscriber, then please consider subscribing. I'll be back in a few days with another video. I have been tagged. So yeah, okay. That's it for now. Stay safe, and yeah, okay, bye.